Joining us next are Dr. Halasa as well as Dr. Barry. They're scientists who are work is on nitromedicine. Hello, Dr. Halasa. Hello, Dr. Barry. How are you today?
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Question.
For audience
Great.
out there who don't know what nitromedicine is, can you please give us a rundown on it?
Well, Nitro Medicine is a consulting company. We help companies to develop products. We are like research and development for many companies, developing cutting edge products. You can say similar to MIT. So those companies can produce those cutting edge that lines up with the frontier of medicine. So that's the Nitro Medicine company, what actually it does in this medical industry.
Perfect. Dr. Barry, what's your thoughts about using nitromedicine or CBD in cases of the COVID-19?
Well, what we're finding is that CBD is a cannabinoid and it comes from the cannabis plant. And the CBD itself is designed to specifically activate the endocannabinoid system. Now, the endocannabinoid system in our body is the main function of it is to keep things in homeostasis. And what we're finding is that we want to be able to take the immune system of our body and not allow it to escalate to the point where it is overreactive, which happens in a virus or the coronavirus situation. And what we want to be able to do is activate that endocannabinoid system that we have in our body to be able to keep that in response within a check. So we don't want to allow it to get over into what we call the cytokine storm, where there's too much cytokines that are produced or indicated or injected into the body. But what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to make sure we maintain it, and that's what will help the body to be able to fight and work with its to its best of its ability. And what we're also seeing is that with CBD, we're understanding that there's a great deal of stress that there is in our society right now because of the situation that we're all in. But what we want to be able to do is look at, there's so many studies out there right now that CBD has been shown through studies that the anxiety level has had an effect from that. But what we're able to do is bring that down to a more normal level at that point. So we see a lot of different things that are developing with that.
Dr. Hallas, what is your other thoughts about the COVID-19?
Well, I think in order to fight the COVID-19, we have to do three things actually. We need to first inactivate the virus, and then we need to boost the immune system as well, and then we need to manage the patient's psychology and anxiety and insomnia because all of this can compromise the immune system. And regarding how we inactivate the viruses, they are developing those drugs like hydroxychloroquine and other drugs like in Australia, they just came up with ivermectin as well, helping those patients. We also think that methylene blue photodynamic therapy is another option and the best option and the more safest option to inactivate the viruses. And how we do that, we ask the patients to take the methylene blue oral mouthwash to stain all the infected cells that's in the mouth, especially we know the coronavirus affecting mainly the salivary glands of the duck when they first enter the body. So the replication, the population of the virus, mainly it happened in the mouth, in the salivary gland, in the saliva. And that's why even recently, the test, when you're taking the swab, they recommend taking it from the saliva versus from the nasal cavity. This is a change in the swab, and they find it's better if we take it from the saliva because we find that viral load is very high in the mouth. And that's why the reason, because the coronavirus is when it enters the body, the first site of entry is the mouth and the salivary glands. And then if the patient's immune system is not strong enough, the immune compromised for any reasons, could be because he has underlying diseases, the virus can progress and lead to pneumonia and ARSD and septicemia and cytochrome storm and all that stuff we know. So if we are able to inactivate the virus from the mouth, I think that will be the best option treatment. And then we can boost the immune system using vitamin C, vitamin D, which will help to increase the interferons, along with zinc. They all three help to increase the interferons, alpha and beta. which is a natural cytokine in the body that actually kills the viruses. And we may also consider giving the patient flavonoids or polyphenols, quercetin, curcumins, that has some antiviral effect. They have the polymerase enzymes and protease enzymes. And then we need to think about, the enhancing or managing that anxiety and insomnia and all those things which may lead to compromising the immune system as well. Because we hear about healthy people are getting it, but we didn't know exactly are they healthy? They don't have pre-diseases, or they are healthy and they have issues like they are insomniac, they don't sleep at night very well, or they may be taking too much of alcohol, or maybe smokers. So all of those factors can compromise the immune system, and we need to educate the patients to change their health lifestyle and promote the healthy lifestyle, and to boost their immune system by education and cognitive therapy, what we call. But I think with all of these three things, I think we can battle the COVID disease, and we can not just flatten the curve, but also shorten the curve and speed the process of the herd immunity. And I think this will help us to be released from this quarantine that it's going to be very long, and it's going to affect the whole economy. So we need to think about all of that when we are managing COVID.
Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. For those of us who want to get more information on nitromedicine, what is your website, Dr. Halas?
So we are doing weekly webinars, and you're part of it. 9 p.m. on Friday. We have a lot of doctors, pre-influenza doctors that gather. We brainstorm. We're trying to perfect the protocols as much as we can to manage the COVID. The other thing I did not mention, which I need to mention it, about cytochrome, about the cytokine storm, and that leads to septicemia. And septicemia can lead to methemoglobinemia. And methemoglobinemia may be the reason why we have a problem with managing those patients when they are in ICU. So we need to consider treating methemoglobinemia, and there's two options to manage methemoglobinemia, which is by vitamin C or methylene blue. And we know methemoglobinemia is due to free radicals and nitric oxide, which will oxidize the iron of the heme from ferrous to ferric, and when it turns into ferric, they will not release the oxygen to the tissue, and the tissue will be suffering hypoxia. And that's why we see those patients are dying in the ICU, and they turn to blue color, and all those doctors in New York, they have a problem managing, and all over the world, because they are focusing, as this is a disease of the lung only, but I think it's also a disease of the blood, and I believe septicemia and methemoglobinemia is causing the death or the failure of managing it with just ventilators. So we need to do the ventilators, we need to give oxygen, yes, but also we need to manage it as it causes methemoglobinemia. There are some articles that says that the virus shreds the hemoglobin and iron and taking it out, but that's the simulation, the computer simulation study. It's not being proven in vitro and vitro. I think the real mechanism is methemoglobinemia caused by septicemia. That's well-known mechanism of cause of methemoglobinemia. So if we do that and we manage it by giving them IV methylene blue, that's the FDA approval way of managing methemoglobinemia, and vitamin C, I think we can get better survival rates from the patients who are admitted from the ICU. So my website is academyos.com. That's the website of the Academy, and I welcome all the doctors. We are mainly focusing on educating doctors. So all the doctors that can join us, brainstorm, let's all work in perfecting those protocols. Let's all work to not just flatten the curve, but shorten the curve, and help to really release the whole country from the lockdown and from the quarantine. And I think this is the most efficient way of doing it, is education and getting doctors understand the pathology of the disease more, and how we manage it, and how we can perfect those protocols to really come up with a real answer for this pandemic.
Well, thank you so much again for joining us, Dr. Halas and Dr. Barry. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
For having us.